Look who's with me. UFC 167 is in the books.
And officially, Jesus is Canadian.
Yes. And you know what? We're going to start because the event was very eventful. It ended very fucked up. I'll just say that. But you know what? There were some things that made George and I really happy throughout the night. The first fight was Alibaba versus Tim Elliott. Okay? I don't know his fucking name, and if you guys are going to hate on me and
I'm sorry, but right now in the racially charged sensitive sports arena, I don't really fight quite a bit. Fuck off.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
A bunch of babies.
I'm being a little bit nervous about it tonight.
No,
but
real quick, for all you people out there, like, and Charles Barkley is officially my hero, and I posted the video.
Yeah, I like that.
Here's a quick question. Do you like to eat hot dogs?
Right.
Do you like to eat Slim Jims? Do you want to know how those motherfuckers are made? No, you don't.
No.
Same thing with sports.
Yeah.
You want to see your team or your fighter go out there and bust his ass. Do you want to know how he did it? No. Who cares? Leave that shit in the locker room. Be quiet. Anyway, on to 167.
167. The first fight was well, first of all, let's talk about some of these undercard real quick. Donald Cerrone got the job done against Evan Dunham. Rick Story defeated Brian Ebersol.
Didn't see that one coming.
And Taos Latis defeated Ed Herman.
Lots of decisions.
Then we move on to the main event, right?
And I'm gonna be straight up. The first card.
First fight.
First fight.
You okay, man? You been sucking dicks or something?
Nah,
What's
man.
wrong with you, man?
I'm eating bad decisions.
Oh. Bad decisions. Fuck. That's good. George let me tell you guys, if y'all were up in my crib tonight, George had the best fucking one-liners. My girl was like this, why ain't you putting that shit on Twitter? Why ain't you putting that shit on Twitter? He was like, pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, all
you
day.
got like 20 of them.
Like, for instance, I don't take Lunesta, I take GSP.
Right, to go to sleep.
The one dude, Tim Elliott, looked like the guy, before he had his hair cornrowed, he looked like the guy from Amish Mafia. So when he was coming back, I was like, that's a long buggy ride home. It's all about timing.
Yeah, your timing was on. Back to the fights.
Tim Elliott lost via decision to Alibaba.
Yes.
To be honest, we talked, the household talked right through this fight.
We really did. It was to us uneventful, but that, you know what? That's taking nothing away from the fighters. The fighters.
Man, I ain't taking nothing away from them fighters.
Nothing away from the fighters. They was doing this shit. Let's move on to the welterweight battle between Tyron Woodley and Josh
Somebody's
Koscheck.
been working on their hands.
Yeah. Tyron Woodley looked sharp, man.
He ain't playing no games.
He is not, man. His last two fights, he's looked really impressive with his hands. Everybody, and George and I were two people that really got on him because we're like, he's a great wrestler, but he has no stand-up game.
Yeah, when we were first introduced to Tyron Woodley way back in the Strikeforce days, for you people who have been with MMA fan longer than 3 weeks, remember Strikeforce? Tyron had no stand-up. The shit was doo-doo. His stand-up has come a long way in a short amount. His stand-up has come a very long way in a short amount of time, so I hope he keeps it up, because if he does, he's going to be nasty.
He's going to be good. I don't know what's up for Josh Koscheck. I mean, that's what, 4 straight? I mean, he is, you know.
He's got 2 options. Change weight, change careers. That's
Change your haircut. Maybe dye dark. Maybe have
that ain't going to help.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe the blonde shit's might be fucking, it's time for a whole new just fucking makeover and
shave that shit off.
You know what I mean? Now, welterweight fight. Oh yeah. Now, George and I couldn't happen to a better fighter. I was fucking high from Robbie Lawler. Yeah. He was like fucking coming at me like the Bubba Kush. I was liking him. I like the fact that he had a new camp. I like the fact that he fights you. I like the fact that he was dropping down to welterweight 170 and he had not lost a fight.
I like the fact that it's the 3rd round, his mouth is wide open, he's breathing out of his mouth, and he's still coming forward and pressing that Terminator 2 looking robot back up against the cage, backed him up and bothered him so much that he couldn't even be a respectful fighter at the end and say, good job, chap. Nope. He tucked his tail and deuced out.
And that's the thing he was, man. He was like, adios deuces. Now, that's the thing that we've said about Rory McDonald. Not that we're going to hate on his skill set, because the guy's
amazing fighter.
Amazing fighter. But his personality is fucking just a fucking shit bucket.
And for all you people out there who were high on him for finishing fights, what happened?
Rory McDonald.
Because I'm going to tell you what, the last 2 fights, you've got this same very patient, calculated way. Does he have one punch knockout power? Because the way he fought tonight, it's like he had a game plan and he's looking for something. And if the shit's not working, change it up. He never changed his approach. He never changed his stance. He didn't change his pressure. Nothing about him changed.
Yeah. He was just trying to establish his range and do everything, and nothing happened. And Robbie Lawler, similar to Carlos Condit, comes forward and fights you. And it's like, you know what? If you're going to sit back and try to fucking analyze another fighter through the first, second, you get deep into the rounds, you're going to lose the fucking fight. It's starting slow.
I'm going to tell you right now, it looks like if you were going to fight a person out of the TriStar gym, you press them.
Yeah.
They right now, I'm just saying generally, and this is a generalization, so it's, you know, just press a TriStar fighter. You get up in his face, you get chest to chest, you get inside of their striking range, and you make them fight. Because I'm going to tell you what, both of them looked very, very uncomfortable this evening.
They did. Yeah, very uncomfortable. I don't know I can say Robbie Lawler has propelled himself as definitely probably the third, fourth, or fifth best welterweight.
I tell you what's crazy is we're talking about two of these, and what happened in the finale.
What had happened was
we're kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean,
and that'll make more sense.
It'll make sense. We'll get to that later. Let's move on to the light heavyweight fight, and that was between Rashad Evans and Chael Sonnen.
And Douglas Drugless looked like poop.
And before the fight started, what did I say to you, George?
You looked at him when he took his shirt off and said he looked soft.
I said Chael Sonnen looks soft. His physique, and you know, and one of the guys was at that house. He's at 205. I'm like, he was at 205 last few fights. He did not look this soft. He's in Vegas. Now, your ratio in Vegas is 6-1, people, okay? It's not like fighting in Brazil. It's not like fighting in Montreal. It's not like fighting in Texas. It's different. So you can't take as much gear. Not that Chael would be loading up on it or, you know, but he knows that if he goes to Vegas, if he's a little bit over, he's gotta be careful about what he's taking or how much TRT he's taking, you know?
Right.
And it showed in his physique. Maybe that's the fact. Maybe he just didn't train as hard, but his physique did not look like the Chael Sonnen of the last 2 years. And you know what? He was just overwhelmed by Rashad Evans.
Yeah. I was trying to check Twitter just to see what's going on, and it's going to be interesting. And I'm not discrediting what you're talking about, but Rashad looks good. Rashad finished the fight. I don't think, somebody tweeted to me, and I'm going to steal this wholeheartedly.
Right.
The P in Chael P. Sonnen stands for paycheck, because he's a paycheck fighter, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, he might be the next Bob Sapp.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't understand what I mean, go look up some of Bob Sapp's fights in Japan. And you'll see what I mean. You'll see. He doesn't take a lot of damage, gets tapped quick. Because let me tell you what, Chael Sonnen could fight again in 2 months.
I will say this. Chael Sonnen just did not look into it tonight.
No.
He just did not look, he didn't look aggressive.
Maybe he's got a lot of things going on in life.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people have a lot of things going on in life, you know. I mean, people have that.
Right.
I mean, there's other fighters that have other things going on in life. And when they win a fight, but really when they get their ass whipped, a lot of things in life make them just maybe I should retire.
Well, not
because they get hit hard as shit.
Maybe, but not necessarily putting those words.
Yeah.
Just needs to take some time off. Maybe just put the gloves up and take some time off.
Which moves us on to the next fight, which was the main event fight that featured George St-Pierre.
Round 2, Kevin and I were standing up out of our seats, giddy like two children on Christmas Day, and it looked like we were about to get our present, and it didn't happen.
Now, I want to say this. We always rag, and it's not just us. Chuck Liddell said, a lot of MMA fighters say it. And you'll see in interviews that GSP fights a very safe fight. He fights to win, which all fighters do, but he fights a very conservative, safe fight. And we've seen that's been very apparent since his loss to Matt Serra. He's more cautious, which is fine because he's still a great, incredible fighter and one that will go down as one of the greatest MMA fighters in history. But welterweight fighters in history. Don't ever say pound for pound because you never move out of your fucking class. But I will say it. Tonight he fought. He definitely fought.
He fought his ass off because Johny Hendricks did not give him a choice.
And that's the thing. That's what you people have to realize is what George just said. He did not have a fucking choice because he was trying to take Johny Hendricks down, and Johny Hendricks was stuffing his fucking takedowns and doing the fucking balancing Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey circus shit on the one leg. It was fucking crazy, dude. When he had him and he slid across the fucking octagon on one foot.
Couldn't get him down.
He couldn't get him down. And he's thinking, oh shit, I'm going to have to go toe to toe with this guy.
I gave GSP rounds 1 and 5.
Yep.
That's it. I have no problem. But 5 wasn't a 10-8. Mm-hmm. No. And cause, I mean, he just didn't do enough damage.
He didn't do anything when he had him on the ground.
GSP looked like seriously, look, here's it for, I don't know, maybe you're at a bar and you didn't hear it. Maybe you were screaming at the TV and you didn't hear it. Mm-hmm. But when GSP after the fight said, he hit me so hard I couldn't see out of my right eye.
I lost my memory.
And I lost my memory of what just happened. I told Kevin, before this shit happened. You know how many times somebody would have to hit me hard enough where I didn't remember shit to realize I don't want to do it one time.
Yeah.
One time is all it would take. I'm done. I would have literally walked across the belt and said, Johnny, here's your belt, bud. I'm going home.
Let's break it down. When you looked at who stuffed takedowns better, Johny Hendricks did it. Okay? When you looked at when they took the person to the ground, when they were on the ground.
Who did more damage?
Johny Hendricks did more damage. Johny Hendricks managed to hold GSP down and rain elbows on him. He controlled him on the ground. GSP took Johny Hendricks down, had him down, struggled, and Hendricks got right back up. Striking. GSP landed some great leg kicks. He landed some kicks upside the head. Did Johny Hendricks, now when you're seeing a foot go up somebody's head, it looks spectacular. But he's checking that shit. Were there any marks on Johny Hendricks' face?
Or even, no. Or even when it would land flush, Johnny would go,
right.
And smile.
He's like, fuck, I messed up. I got caught.
His head would move a little bit and he'd come right back.
Did you see GSP's fucking face after the fight?
He had cuts under both eyes. He had cuts on both part of his nose. Now, I don't have a scorecard, but I know one thing is they score on aggression, which, to be honest, GSP was super aggressive.
Yeah, he was aggressive.
GSP would throw punches, he'd get out of position, and he'd get right back in the pocket. So, ring aggression, or it was maybe equal. A push. Now, here's something that's a little strict. Ring control. I'm not sure how you'd score that in this fight.
I don't know who dictated it. I mean, I look at fights. I look at GSP. I'd say ringmanship. I would give it to Johny Hendricks. And why I would give it to Johny Hendricks in boxing, it's whose fight controls. Johny Hendricks' fight, everybody, he controlled the octagon. And why he controlled the octagon? Because he made GSP go out of his element. GSP shoots in, takes you down, and we know he ground fucks the shit out of you like he's Ron Jeremy, okay? He could not do that tonight because he couldn't. Just saying, you know what I'm saying? You know? He does. And he could not do that tonight. So what was he forced to do? He was forced to go to toe to toe with Johny Hendricks. You saw what happened with his face. You saw who was visually landing the better punches. I mean, people will sit back and go, okay, do you think Johny Hendricks' fucking head is made of steel? Do you think just when someone hits him, it just doesn't mark his fucking face? You know what I'm saying? If someone checks a punch, that punch is not landing flush against your fucking head. He did not. I mean, GSP looked spectacular. Great leg kicks, couple good jabs and stuff like that. Nothing ever hurt Johny Hendricks. Nothing ever hurt Johny Hendricks. GSP was in trouble a couple times in that fight. Second round, we thought it was going to be over.
Yeah, second round, I had it over. Now, I've sat here for years and said you have to do enough to beat the champ. And I understand there's no written rule in sports saying that the champ has an advantage, but there is an unwritten rule in boxing, as long as it's been done in combative sports, that the champ, you know, gets a little leeway. But tonight, I don't get it. Tonight there enough. Hendricks did enough to beat the champ tonight. Period. Point. End of story. And look, when Canadian fans, when GSP backers are saying GSP lost, like,
yes, but then did you hear the fucking audience? I'm like going, okay, are these motherfuckers in Vegas? Are they just clueless, or are they so fucking up?
They flew in all of Toronto.
Or was it that many people from Canada in Vegas?
I don't understand why they were booing Hendricks. That doesn't make no sense to me.
I'm like, motherfuckers, you guys. First of all, why are you going to boo a guy that just gave you a fight like that? You know what I'm saying?
They're idiots.
That's what fucking irritates me about some of these fucking fans out there, man. The ones that are like, boo, boo. I'm like, man, this guy just gave you one of the best fights. He even made your champion fight his ass off for once.
He made your champion forget what happened.
Yeah, he didn't even know what the fuck's going on. I wish Joe Rogan had broke it down and been like this. How old are you? Where are you going next? Where were you last weekend? He'd have been like this. I don't know. I forgot how old am I. He couldn't. He did not seem like he was mentally sound at that point. He seemed very lost.
And the other thing there at the end was GSP went on this weird, uncomfortable tangent about, I'm gonna hang my gloves up. I need to take a break. I need to take some time off. Like,
I mean, this is how I wish. I wish it went down like this. So you're GSP, right? I'm Joe Rogan. So what did you feel like? I mean, what surprised you about the fight?
I don't remember.
What did you don't remember? Why don't you remember?
Because he hit me so hard he closed my eye and I
Is that concerning for you?
What?
Because your eyes look fucked up, GSP.
No.
George, they look fucked up.
No.
Can you see me?
Who?
What are you planning on doing?
Batman.
Batman? I thought it was Captain America.
I'm Batman.
No, you're Captain America's enemy. I mean,
he was hurting. He was a hurting pup. And you know, in fairness, I hate when and this goes for any fighter, any athlete, when you get up in the guy's face after the heat of the moment, whether it's the quarterback who just won the game, the fighter who just got his ass handed to him, the guy who just hit the game-winning shot. It's a really weird, mixed emotional state you're trying to catch this guy in.
Yeah.
So hopefully GSP takes a step back, analyzes shit, and look, let's face it, this man never needs to fight again.
He doesn't.
He doesn't. Again, me, one time, I would need to get hit hard enough where I didn't remember what just happened.
Yeah.
I'd be done. He does not need to do this anymore.
That's like some car accident shit. I mean, the thing I think about is this. GSP has, you saw that one stat that they put up, during the fight. He has the most octagon hours ever, minutes ever. You know, and obviously a lot of that is because.
Tests his style of fighting.
But it's like, you know what, you've won. A lot of people think you're one of the greatest of all time. You know, I think you're one of the greatest of all time. He's a great fighter. Mm-hmm. But I do think you fight too conservative. I do think tonight you fought great, but I think, you know what, there's not anything else to prove. Unless you're going to move up a weight class. And I tell you what.
Don't do that.
If you do that, you're going to lose. Right now, I think.
You're going to have 205ers banging on that skull. And that'll be a wrap.
Guys like Robbie Lawler, big ass middleweights who are getting with good camps that are physically stronger than you. Now you fought a guy, Johny Hendricks, that you have a 7-inch reach advantage. Now what are you going to do when you fight a guy like Robbie Lawler that is getting better and better and he's fucking 6 feet?
Well, here's a question. What would he do with a guy like Tyron Woodley? If he struggled against a guy like Johny Hendricks in his wrestling, I'm not taking anything away from Johny Hendricks' wrestling. It's amazing.
Yeah, but he's a 2-time national champion.
Tyron Woodley is strong. At least put it this way. He has a physical appearance of being really strong. Mm-hmm. What's he going to do when he gets,
these guys are just getting so big.
The welters are going to just start outsizing GSP. Yeah. GSP's not built to play the size game. He's not. He'd be more apt to cut to 155 than he would be to go to 185.
Yeah, I mean, if he went to 185, he would be small and he'd be slow. It wouldn't play into his style of fight. Yeah.
So, that's the card. I mean, great card. I think it was worth every one of Kevin's shekels. What?
Go ahead.
So if you get a chance to see it, you should watch it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. But time will only tell with GSP.
I know there's going to be a lot of GSP fans that are going to fucking jump on our fucking ass sacks about this shit. But
Dana White better man the fuck up, pin GSP down in the next 2 weeks, and what are you doing? Are you going to fight or not? Because if you're not going to fight and you need a year off, and it's not medical, and you're not injured, give up the belt.
Well, that's the fucking thing.
You can't hold the belt hostage.
This guy just, after that, he sits there and goes, I don't know what I'll do. I got a lot of things. Okay, you got a lot of things, motherfucker. But you just got a fucking bad decision, in my opinion, and there'll be a million of you motherfuckers out there that disagree with me. I don't give a fuck. Okay?
I don't see how you can.
But it's like, he got a bad decision, and now you're gonna walk away from it, and now I'm looking at this guy, Johny Hendricks, who fought his ass off. He doesn't have a belt. Like, and he deserves the fucking belt. And it's like, and I don't know, man. The shit is just fucking frustrating to me, man. It's like, why are you farting up in the studio, dude?
Guts.
What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Why you want to put my shit on?
Making bad decisions.
Yeah. Damn, man. That shit, you're living foul, man. Anyway, you guys tell us what you think below on the comment board before I pass the fuck out. And on that note, adios deuces.